What's up, guys? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Godzilla Kong New Empire's out. Godzilla fighting Shimo. This is a Patreon request from Joshua. So, landscape page, use a pencil eraser, hit pause. If I go too fast, we're going to put Shimo over here, Godzilla here, sort of a face-off sort of a thing. Let's try this. So I'm going to give Shimo that sort of frowning forehead that he has first, right? So this kind of like check mark, kind of a tick line, right? So it'll go across here, and it can be like a little bit like bumpy, kind of like this, a couple of lines like so, right? You could go one straight line, but I find like adding some like little wrinkles like this is just a better sort of strategy. Makes them a bit wrinklier looking. Okay. And in under there we have the eye. So frowning pretty heavily, right? So we'll do his small blue eye just coming down from here. So I think Shimo has like a round eye compared to like Godzilla. So like a rounder sort of blue glowing eye. So we'll give like a black circle kind of here, right? Maybe a longer one, kind of oval, just here, sort of looking that way. And then we can have the blue glow coming out from around it. If you want, you could draw another circle, but I think we'll go with that for the pupil. Now, so this frown, right? So it has like maybe like a bump just coming across the top here as well, like sort of frown lines and wrinkles all on this, like little textures, sort of like circles for reptile like skin and stuff like that, and maybe some like eyelid lines and bags just kind of underneath his eye, right? But then we're just going to come down here and add the nostril. So it's like large enough. So it's like it's pretty close to the end of his nose, right? So it's kind of like just a black sort of line here. That's pretty close to his nose. Could have like some textures just joining them together. And then the front of this now in the movie is kind of real round, right? So it like comes around this way. Right, there's like a line that comes around his nose as well, his nostril. And then this kind of like bumps up around the top of the head. And goes back to about there. So the top of the head then has like textures and all lines on it kind of running down the middle, right? So it's got like running from the snout like little sort of scales and things coming this way, and then like a bumpy sort of wrinkle situation coming around here, right? So textures and wrinkles and little dots and stuff just to make them look wrinkly. And then it looks like there's a cheek line, so like a line just coming around his cheek here, kind of like Godzilla. Godzilla has something sort of similar, kind of wrinkles run down his mouth then. And then his mouth is real sort of bumpy for where the teeth come out, right? This is like the top lip, so it comes across this way. Then it comes down for like the jaw, and there's like lots of crystals and spikes and stuff all down here, right? So we'll just like bring it to about there, and then there's like a layer of crystals, but we'll just get like the bottom jaw in first. So the bottom of the jaw, right, so it's kind of joined together. Like at the back of his mouth, I'm going to say here. Right, so you got this little V sort of shape here. And then this starts to go down like so. And again, it's a bumpy mouth, right? And then we have like the skin of his mouth coming this way. So it's like a skin flap that sort of joins both parts of the head together. And it's just pink there. And then this comes around for his mouth. All right, and the chin sort of just comes down this way. And you might have a tooth sticking up here and some going back. But the chin comes around. And again, it's kind of like a bumpy line. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight or anything. It's like a big sort of jaw. Comes up here. And again, there's loads of crystals all coming down his mouth here, right? So I guess we'll do those now before I do teeth maybe. Or will I do teeth first? Question mark. I'll do teeth first and then we'll deal with that. So spiky, small, tiny little teeth, right? So two little ones like sticking down there. And there's a bit of a gap. And then there's like other ones all coming down this way. Right. And then he's got like two big ones. So there's one like right on the corner of the mouth there. And then where's that other one? Like on the corner of the mouth, like here. And then like little small ones in between. Right, like so. And then the tongue comes out from the back of the mouth. So going this way. Just in there. Then we can see some teeth running up the other side of the mouth. And of course there's another skin flap on this side of his mouth as well, right? So this is like his gum on this side. And then you got teeth just coming out from there. Little small teeth again. Right, and then just like little wrinkles coming down from his mouth and stuff here. Texture lines and all this dots and circles and stuff like that, just to make him look a little bit reptilian, you know. Bumpy skin basically is what we're after, not smooth. So spikes on top of the head and they come down the back of the head then as well. So like say the ones coming down here. Yeah, so there's loads of these, right? So let's just go for it, right? So we'll just do a layer here, crystal spike kind of stuff. And they sort of overlap one another as well. So there's a couple of layers on his face here. You can do like lines up the middle just to make them look a little bit three-dimensional. So that's the top portion, and of course there's loads coming back out here, but we'll just do the bottom of the jaw now. So more spiky sort of ones sticking out here. Right, and then like so. And then like big ones then. They gradually sort of get bigger. There's like a smaller layer at first. And then there's like some more skin there, but then small little spikes starting, well, crystals more than spikes, I guess. Some of them might be flat on top like that. So once you have the smaller ones, you can start adding some bigger ones. So we can start going, and there's a bit of wiggle room with this. You know, you don't have to do it exactly like mine. You know, if you want them to be even bigger than what I'm doing, we can do them. You can do them smaller or bigger. It kind of just keeps coming out the back of the head then. Like so. And it joins the neck, which sort of has a few spikes on it here. The neck in general comes out from like the back of the head. It sort of bumps itself down this way because there is more spikes that come out of that. Okay. So then some spikes coming down here, and they can be like crystal shapes, you know, they don't have to be just pointy. Just sort of glowing blue going off the page that way. And then the front of the neck just comes down close to the chin, sort of bumpy sort of neck like this. Right. Boom, 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 boom. So we just get some anatomy in now, so it kind of like comes down here and joins the chest, and then we have a shoulder, sort of wrinkly sort of shoulder line here. And then the forearm sort of goes that way in the picture I'm drawn from anyway. And then the shoulder on the other side just kind of like hangs down here. And then the arm sort of goes off down that way. Okay. So now all you got to do is add like wrinkles and textures to the skin and like some armor sort of lines. Like there might be some armor coming across the neck like this way. Kind of Godzilla has that kind of stuff as well, kind of go in one direction. And maybe on the shoulder as well. I think there is actually armor on the shoulder. And you could wrinkle them up. And I think we got another layer of spikes. White spikes, but maybe they glow. Are they white or do they glow blue as well? Gotta check that now. I don't know. No, they just look white maybe. Some of them are bluey crystal. But anyway, trying to check it out. So we'll just do another layer of little spikes just coming down the neck here. It's just sort of a zigzag sort of layer going off that way. We'll just make it so it's kind of like joined to his skin by adding these little curved lines at the bottom, and then just line up the middle to make it look a little bit three-dimensional. And then just wrinkles, sort of texture lines all over. So you just go across curving lines following like the shape of the neck. So it's kind of like a net thrown over, and then we'll go this way with them. You don't have to add too much dots and stuff like that, you know. Just making them look a bit textured. And we could do, if you wanted like color blue coming out from the mouth, of course, you can or what's freezing breath or something, isn't it? So you could do like maybe little ice crystals, like kind of like little stones, if you wanted it to look like with some lines around it. You know, little things like that. Like he's shooting ice or stuff coming out from the mouth. Might be cool. And you could just color sort of there, light blue, same as the eyes and the crystals. But that is Shimo. So let's go over and do Godzilla. So we've drawn Godzilla many times on this channel, so it's fairly straightforward, I think. Godzilla, just they're sort of looking at each other, right? So we'll do Godzilla's eye, maybe a little bit lower than Shimo. Is Shimo? I think Shimo's supposed to be like a bit bigger than Godzilla, so we'll go. You could do it level if you wanted, but I think I'll go down a little bit. And we're gonna have they're gonna be like right up against each other, like about to bite each other. So I'm gonna put Godzilla's eye like right here, right? And this will be that glowing pink, right? I'm starting with the eye on this one because the frown isn't as visible. And we're going to give Godzilla a sort of slit, sort of snake-like eye, like so. And it'll be sort of glowing pink, right? And then we'll go with sort of that frowning sort of shape again. Sort of like, you know, like Shimo sort of. Just going back that way. And then there's like eyelid lines and textures and everything around the eye. Coming up around here. So he's quite spiky in this one, so there's like lots of bumps and scales and spikes coming along the eyebrow. Some of them actually, like the pink glow goes quite far onto the head. And so all this sort of has texture as well. Real spiky sort of eyebrow there. And there's spikes that come down the side of the face as well. Okay, so Godzilla's snout is quite flat, like different to Shimo's. Comes out this way. Bumpy a little bit, but then comes down. It's like a block, sort of like real square. And then we have a bumpy sort of gum coming back again. And this goes quite far back, so it goes like all the way back to like here, I think. But this like joins a layer of spikes that goes down. Like there's a layer of spikes here on the cheek and on the neck as well. So say like nostril, put the nostril sort of here. Godzilla's nostril is kind of long. There's like some wrinkles on the snout. And then he has kind of like a cheekbone that joins the nose nearly. Right? So it kind of like goes up around the eye here. And this has spikes on it as well. And then there's one that goes this way, and it's kind of spiky as well. And this will eventually go down the neck. And then wrinkles that kind of come down. Right, so then the back of the head, I think, is about there. But this layer of spikes keeps going. And then, so yeah, that one keeps going down the middle. And then there's like another one here and on top. So that means this one keeps going as well. And that's like the back of the head. textures, very important. Little dots and stuff. Okay, so that's like the top part of his skull. So the back of the jaw and it comes down that way and back to the chin. And kind of like Shimo, we have this piece of skin here. Okay. So we go sort of like here, I'd say, under the eye. Looks like where it is, right? And then the jaw is quite like big, comes down from here. And kind of bumpy again. It's all teeth coming out. And then we bring it down. Alright. It starts to come up this way. And there's all spikes sticking out here in this version of Godzilla. There's a couple of layers of them. I don't think the older one had spikes on his face. Could be wrong with that though. And then like you want to texture this up as well, like dots and scales and circles and wrinkles and everything. Right, kind of like that. And you can do as much of this as you want now. Right, and then teeth. So Godzilla's teeth are pretty small. They're not like crazy large teeth. Like Shimo as well. So go like here. Small ones on the bottom first. And then the tongue just kind of hangs down in here. And we can see like the side of the mouth on the other side. And then some teeth on this side. Boom. Right. So the forehead, so he comes around from here, right? And this will like go the whole way back down the body, right? And it'll have like spikes and stuff on it as well. But we'll go bumpy first. And we'll just add the spikes, right? So bumps like that, and then little spikes which gradually become big sort of glowing fins, right? So like just at the back of his head, the first one sort of starts, right? So it's, you can go as big as you want now. I'll just bring it up to the top of my page there. Okay, so real big ones. And then we have 3 rows, right? So just sort of this zigzag sort of thing. Like that. And then a second one going down the middle and a third one just coming from the jaw here. And these are joined together with this sort of fin shape. And I'll show you what I mean now. So that goes like lightning sort of down there, right? And then there's like a base to them just for where they connect. It's just little wrinkles at the bottom of each spike. And then maybe just a line down the middle of them just to make them look a little bit like a pyramid sort of. Right, now inside each of this, right, so you've got these curved lines, right, so it's kind of like an accordion or one of those musical instruments, you know. So it's like these curving scales, right, like that, and then in here curving that way, and then we have try that again, and then we have some lone little spikes throwing my pens around, sitting on the back of the neck there. Right, and then like some texture and dots and stuff all up here. Now, so Godzilla has quite a wide neck, so it's like down here, right? So and it has sort of armor on it, so it's kind of like bumpy, right? But we'll just go down, say, to the middle there, and we have a couple of layers, right? So we've got like an armor section that comes down the neck, sort of here, and so this has armor. Like that, and you can have some textures on it, just like that. And of course he has gills, right, coming down from the neck, so we've got like the starts of these, and they kind of get like a bit bigger as they go down on the side of the neck, and these are the parts that kind of glow, you know, when he's charging up. Or so little wrinkles on him like this as well. And then, like, again, sort of random little spikes and textures and dots and stuff all on the skin then. Then we just could add like front of the body, sort of shoulders, kind of like Shimo then. So Godzilla's neck runs down here, and then there's another maybe neckline just going that way. And then we have big shoulder muscle that way. And then the armpit and body is kind of like there. Then we seem to have like more sort of turtle shell like sort of chest armor or something here. Like this kind of a thing. It's kind of like abs or something, just running down the body that way. And then like the shoulder muscle, bicep, tricep. And then there'd be like armor on this. And like lots of textures and wrinkles and right, and then again, glowing pink, right? And you, we'll just do sort of like spit because he doesn't make ice or anything, so. Like maybe some ice floating. And like, you know, directional lines and debris and stuff all in the air and energy. And you can do as much detail then as you want. I think I'll leave it there. Shimo versus Godzilla. Thanks for the request on Patreon, Joshua. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.